Namaste Nam. Welcome to another episode of Nashta with Nam. Today we have Shruti Agarwal with us, who's a mom and founder of Export Circle community and one of the founding members of D2C Insider community. Today she's going to talk more about how brands can export and go global. Our recording studio has been designed by Prerna Mohan, who is an interior designer. Shruti, so I wanted to know from you how mompreneurs can diversify into exports.
I think exports is not something which has to have a different kind of genre. If you are into retail, you have a product and you think it's a right product market fit, that because the fitment starts from home, right? You find that this product is not available in the market and you try to create that. And I think a lot of stories like that we have heard. If you see Mama, the Moms Co, all these founders have actually found that there's a lack of such products in Indian market, and that's where they created those products. So if the members, the people in your community, they feel that this is a product that they're creating and they have the capability to grow global and be on a global platform, I think why not? And you know, it's not required any special focused approach or anything. It's just the simple intent which is required. If they feel that the brand is good, product is good, and they want to be on global platform, then they can.
Yes. So you mentioned about product market fit. So how do I identify, like, as if I'm running a, for example, a clothing brand? So how do I identify which market is right for me? How do I enter that market? Like, how do I start my research?
Sure. So, first thing, if you see the entire world, every country works in a different manner, right? There's so many countries which has their own capability to create products, but there are many countries which are dependent on import at a high level. You name Middle East. So Middle East, you won't find manufacturers, you won't find lot of production happening. The country is completely dependent on import, which means there's an opportunity for us, right? Now, when we look into Middle East, the different states altogether, different places, and now we really need to understand what Saudi Arabia wants, what Dubai works, what price point, what kind of products. As you mentioned, apparel. Now, if it is a cost-effective apparel, will it work in Dubai? I don't believe. I don't think so. I think if there is a luxury apparel or a brand focused approach, that really works in Middle East, right? Similar with Southeast Asia. Now, the trend in the latest fashion comes from Southeast Asia. It starts from that place, right? And it's a hub of all the garments that you actually buy in the fashion. Do you think if there's a Indian brand who wants to grow in Southeast Asia? Very less chances. But if you think of US, you think of Europe, of course. Now, ये हो गया exports apparel की बात. But if you think about saris, India is known for, right? The traditional outwear, of course, it's the entire world for you. So it depends on, even in one category, which kind of subcategories you are getting into. If it is a formal dress or a chic dress, then no, in Europe, US, it's difficult to be there because there are much better brands locally available. But if you think there is a kurta pajama or a sari or bandhani kind of products, those kind of products really work because India is known for such products.
Yes.
Today, if you want to buy sari, people actually look into Indian sites and buy it from there, right? So that's how it works.
So a lot of times mompreneurs are actually scared to venture into exports. What are the common myths that you can burst for our audience, because it will be very useful?
Sure. सबसे पहले I think the first thing when people want to do exports, the first thing came to their mind, am I a big brand to be in global market, right? It's not required. If you think your product is small but you want to be on global platform and you think you can be in a unique category or a niche category, you can be on global market, right? The second thing is, I really need to be a manufacturer to get into exports? That's not required.
You can be a reseller.
Yeah, you can. So, if you ask me, a lot of eBay sellers are not actually manufacturer but traders, which means there's a manufacturer, there's a buyer, and they're just dealing between them and making sure that the transaction happens, right? And a lot of D2C brands are actually that, because if you see, even in CNPL event we had seen,
Yes.
right? There's so many brands who are actually taking products from manufacturer and selling it in their own brand. So ideally, you don't have to have a manufacturing unit, but of course, you need to have a proper supply chain system managed, available
Yes.
for you, or probably there's some other people who are supporting that to you.
So how does a brand know that I'm export ready? Like from the terms of investment, documentation or registration, like what stage they feel that they can now venture into exports?
I'll give you a very simple example answer to that. It's the intent. Nothing is required. There are smart approaches how you can do it. People think that they need a lot of investment. People think they need a lot of capital. It's not like that. If you do smart exports, you work with people who have actually been there, done that. Like in the last session, if you remember, what I had said is, for any brand, if they really want to explore, they can actually start doing it from online channels which are available in the entire world, and you see what kind of growth you are getting there. You ship the product from India, of course there will be a logistic charges which probably you can consume and make it a marketing spend kind of stuff, and ensure that the product is reaching on time. The experience is amazing, and the moment you see, okay, your products are getting picked in that market, and you know the best way is, if you have 5-6 products and maybe out of 2 products are getting picked,
Yes.
focus on those 2 products and build products around it. The other thing is also, are you flexible enough to do some innovation with the product? For example, if this is a aam achar masala, okay, now if there are different I would say categories which can build around it, and you know this product is selling in US or probably Europe very well, and now you think you can create some other variants in the similar category which can sell well. You think that this is the packaging that you have in India, but you need to change it according to the country. If you are flexible enough, you can do it.
Yes.
But if you are not, you're saying, oh, who will do that? I don't have time and all that, then that means the intent is not there, and things will not happen if the intent is not there.
That's a very valid point. I also feel जहाँ will है वहाँ रास्ता निकल ही
हाँ,
आता है.
हाँ.
So you were a big advocate of community building yourself. You were one of the founding members of D2C Insider community as well. So I wanted to know what are a few tips and advice that you'll give mompreneurs to make use of communities to help them with their businesses.
So few things. I think community is not the group of people, it's empowerment, right? You come together, try to do something good, and you know, you learn from each other. The other thing is, I always feel that the founder who's running the community is not the hero. It's the community members, because you're building your community based on their success stories. So anything which is happening to your members, which is like they've got some success, they've got some awards, it should be celebrated in the community. And that's what I keep building during my community building experience, now close to 7 years. And the third thing is, you keep building it. The consistency is very important. Maybe the kind of community you are building is not perfect, but I think perfect goes back when you get into the consistency. You be there, you're doing it. So the way you keep doing your events, whether people are coming, there's a less traffic, whatever it is, but you are one person who's diligently doing it. If it is there in your calendar, you ensure it's happening, right? That's the most important part. The other thing is you you don't need to be perfect on everything. You don't need, as a founder or as a person, you don't need to have a knowledge of everything, right? When I started export circle, I knew exports, but I can't say that I'm an expert into exports, right? Now this vulnerability will actually help me build my community, because then I will seek more mentors coming in, helping the other members to understand what it is about. In fact, sometimes I even know the answer, but I want to keep my mouth shut so that other people are participating and creating it in a vibe that it's a very engaging community. That's how the engagement drives in the community overall. Lastly, I would say you should never forget the first few people who has helped in building the community. So that's why we have founding members in our community, and we have always been, even in the earlier community and expert circle, we've always been very proud and very protective about our founding members. And I always, whatever I'm doing, I make sure that at least my founding members are aware what I'm up to, what I'm building, what I'm trying to do.
So
because
basically, you communicate your message, ethos to everybody so
Yeah.
that they're also clear what is the objective.
the other thing is also you have made those founding members because of their reputation, right?
Yeah.
In some way, they are the mentors, they're the influencers, they are the people who are standing with you, they're a cheerleader, right? So it's always best, it's hota hai na company mein, if you're taking a big decision, you want your leaders to be aligned. So the founding members, the first few people who has helped you build that community are your leaders, who will always help you without any expectation of returns, refunds, or anything like that. So I always feel that you should not forget those people.
Yes, I wanted to know more from a member's perspective, how member can make most of the community they're part of, like by reaching out to the right people or showing their face. Like, what are the few tips that you gave when somebody is part of the community and how to get visibility within that community?
I think the first thing we always forget is your problem will only solve if you ask. Most of us don't ask,
Hesitate,
right?
yeah.
We always hesitate.
Yeah.
If you are asking the right question, you're putting out your issues in the community, there will be someone who is going to support you or who's going to help you out, right? That's one piece. The other, so we have created the entire journey in exports. One is the community where you see that
Yes.
people are learning from each other.
Yes.
And trust me, if you just scroll the community messages, you will see that the entire export dictionary or a Wikipedia is there. You will learn many things from the community itself, right? Just scrolling the messages and you will learn a lot of stuff. The second thing is, there are people who want to do exports, but उनको ना इतने शोर में समझ नहीं आता है कि मेरे लिए step 1 क्या है, step 2 क्या है. That's where we created the accelerator program. Step 1 is this: you want to understand US, you want to understand UK, these are the compliances and everything. So हम step by step उसको चीज़ों को तोड़ के फिर उनको समझाते हैं, so that they understand what they need to do as a next step. The third is, of course, now they have learned, they want to go. So we have created our partner ecosystem where we have warehouses in US, UK, we have distribution centers, online, offline. So when you are ready, you want to go there, this is the kind of ecosystem that we have created, and you can go ahead and start selling to distributors and a retailer with the help of these enablers.
That's wonderful, Shruti. I now want to do a fun rapid fire round with
Sure.
you. So I'll invite Roli to.
Let's have a fun rapid fire, Shruti. One myth about exports you wish everyone knew the truth about.
So in India, I will talk about, people think that Make in India product doesn't create too much magic. It's just that you need to know what kind of products are really the GI tag products and India is known for. If you are there, Make in India works like a magic.
Oh wow. Next, most underrated export product from India.
I think after COVID, I would say turmeric.
Oh really?
Because in India we use in everything, right?
Yeah.
The curries, the tikkas, everything we
Yeah.
use turmeric powder. But in international, they've come up with turmeric latte, turmeric shots, and everything. And
As
the,
they do
the
with
portion
pretty
of turmeric that they actually consume, we don't even realize that we're consuming on a daily basis.
Oh wow. And lastly, your go-to mantra when things get overwhelming.
Breathe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shruti, for joining us. This is a wellness travel kit by Ajay Travel.
Thank
I
you.
hope you like it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankita, for having me here.
For more episodes, please subscribe to our channel.